Good morning, everyone. Father Tony here with this week's chapel message. Today, I wanted to tell you all a story from the Hebrew Bible, sometimes called the Old Testament by Christians. And a lot of the stories we have in the Bible are meant to teach us lessons about how we should treat one another. Many of these stories have what we think of as good guys and bad guys, heroes and villains. And the idea is that the good guys are the ones who listen to God and do what's right, and the bad guys are the ones who don't listen to God. And they're oftentimes violent towards the good guys. One of the most well-known stories, even though it's one of the shortest, is the story of Jonah. And maybe you know that story. If you don't, the story goes like this. Jonah, who's an Israelite, is called by God to go to the city of Nineveh. It's a huge city in another land called Assyria. And God wants him to go there and tell them that they're being bad guys and that they need to stop before something bad happens to them. But Jonah didn't want to go to Nineveh. The Assyrians in Nineveh were the enemies of the Israelites, Jonah's people. They didn't worship Israel's God, they worshiped different gods. And Jonah didn't think that they would listen to him. And even if they did, Jonah thought that they deserved to be punished anyway. So Jonah tried to run away. Maybe this is the part of the story that you know. Jonah is on a boat in the middle of the sea, and there's this great storm that comes up, and the sailors on the boat decide to throw Jonah overboard because they think the storm is his fault because he made God angry. And when Jonah goes overboard, he's swallowed up whole by a giant fish. Now, do I think that this really happened just the way the story says? No, I don't. I think it's a story. It's not an actual fact. I know that some people do maybe think that way, and that's fine if they want to believe that, but I don't think the point of the story is to prove that there are really giant fish that can swallow people up whole. The point that the storyteller is trying to make is that we can't run away from our problems or something that we're meant to do. But the Jonah story teaches us another, even more important lesson. You see, after Jonah is coughed up by the fish after 3 days, he finally agrees to go to the city of Nineveh. And he gives them the message to change, to be good, to turn from doing evil things and oppressing people. And the king and the rest of the people in the city actually listen. And so God spares the city. But this makes Jonah angry. Remember, he was thinking about these people as his enemies, as the bad guys. So he wanted something bad to happen to them. But God says, no, I will have mercy on them. And you, Jonah, should show them mercy and kindness too. Sometimes all of us find ourselves being angry with someone or not liking someone who's different than us or someone who's done something to hurt us. And maybe we think if something bad happened to them, they'd be getting what they deserved. Or maybe we even wish that something bad would happen to them. But when we think that way, we're not really hurting them. We're only hurting ourselves by letting those kinds of angry, bad feelings build up inside of us. And maybe if we would take the time to get to know them, we'd see that they're not really that different from us. That we're not the good guys and them the bad guys, but that we're all just people. And most of the time, people deserve kindness and they deserve a second chance. So I wonder, Has there ever been a time in your life when you have wished something bad would happen to someone you didn't like? Did it make you feel good to think those thoughts or bad? And then I wonder, has there ever been a time when you gave someone a second chance, even if you weren't sure that they deserved it? And if you did, were you glad that you did? So, some things to think about for this week. I hope you all have a great week. I'll be back next week with another chapel message. Until then, stay safe and God bless.